Welcome to another
Dumb.
Stupid.
Crazy.
college admissions cycle. And for this, the 2025-2026 college admissions cycle, we kick things off at the University of Miami. That is the topic of today's video. My name is Craig Meister. I'm a college admissions coach. You can learn more about me and how you can work with me one-on-one throughout the entire college admissions process on my website, which is collegemeister.com. And if you're interested in learning about whether or not you are or your student is on track for selective college admission in the United States of America, visit areyoontracktogetin.com. Again, that's areyoontracktogetin.com, at which you will complete a free 3-minute assessment. Your results will be emailed to you right away, and they will help you clarify whether or not you are or your student is on track for selective college admission in the United States of America. Let's start by sharing some important context, which is the supplemental essay prompt that University of Miami used for both the 2023-2024 admission cycle and the 24-25 admission cycle. This is it. This is no longer in use, but I'm sharing it as background information first. Located within one of the most dynamic cities in the world, the University of Miami is a distinctive community with a variety of cultures, traditions, histories, languages, and backgrounds. The University of Miami is a values-based and purpose-driven post-secondary institution that embraces diversity and inclusivity in all its forms and strives to create a culture of belonging where every person feels valued and has an opportunity to contribute. Please describe how your unique experiences, challenges overcome, or skills acquired would contribute to our distinctive university community. Now, I did not like that prompt then. It was crafted right after the Supreme Court ruled race-based admissions to be illegal in the United States of America. So it was one of many prompts that were produced like that in the summer of 2023. And they kept it for 2 years over at University of Miami, and it was also quite loquacious. And look, I realize I do not edit my videos very much. I myself am quite loquacious. It takes one to know one. But you would think that the final draft prompt that a university of the stature of University of Miami would use for its first year application would be a little bit buttoned up. Let's just put it that way. But it was 86 words. And at the time, I think I even said, like, this is quite long for a response that you're only going to have 250 words for. And of course, there was really only one sentence for the real prompt. There was just that huge run-up to it where they're talking all about University of Miami itself. It's like, doth protest too much, right? So that was then. I didn't love it then. But this is now. This is the 2025-2026 University of Miami supplemental essay prompt, which has been confirmed, again, for the 25-26 first-year admission cycle. And oh my goodness, the number of words is even more. 117-word prompt for a 250-word response. I mean, that's got to be close to some sort of record now we're hitting. The University of Miami is situated in one of the most vibrant cities in the world, fostering a community filled with varied backgrounds. Our students come from an array of cultures, traditions, languages, and experiences. We value the unique perspectives each student brings and the meaningful contributions they can make. Reflect on a community that has influenced you, be it your school, neighborhood, club, team, ethnic group, or any other group that has played a role in shaping who you are. What significance did that community hold for you? And in what ways did you contribute to it? How will you bring those experiences, values, and insights to enrich our campus community at the University of Miami? Now, again, for the typical University of Miami aspirant or applicant, this is so needlessly complex. This prompt is so over the top. And I would go so far as to say it is the definition of degeneracy. I would say you're not going to see greater amounts of degeneracy on the beach in South Beach during spring break, or in the nightclubs of Miami and South Beach, on a typical Friday night, whether it be 11 or Live or whatever you want to talk about in terms of nightclubs in Miami, you're not going to see the amount of degeneracy that you just saw in this prompt. Let's put it back on the screen. This prompt is the very definition of degeneracy. You may be saying, Craig, what the heck are you saying? Well, I think that substantively and stylistically, this prompt is degenerate. And what I mean by that is it's way, way too long. It's not going to capture the attention or focus of most applicants to the University of Miami. They could have simply written, Nate, they could have simply written the following. Share details about how you contributed to a particular community and what you've learned as a result of being a part of that community and how it will inform your behavior at the University of Miami. That would have been still probably too long, but look at what they wrote instead. I mean, my goodness, what they're basically trying to do here is saying, we're inclusive. We're very, very inclusive. We're Miami. And anyone is welcome here. Everyone is welcome here. They just want you to know that in case you didn't already know that. And I would hope you would know that if you're applying to University of Miami, that you don't need sort of like a preface as to where you are applying in the prompt. I mean, you're at the end of the process, you would hope. But what this is betraying, of course, is that fact that a lot of people applying to the University of Miami don't even know what the heck they're applying for. So the University of Miami has to sort of preface like, oh, by the way, make sure you know who you're applying to. That's sort of an indictment, right, on like the typical University of Miami applicant. I think it's very sad, but Miami has a lot of people applying to it that maybe Miami is not their first choice. Let's just put it that way. But the rest of the prompt is also degenerate. It's just, again, way too long, which, again, stylistically is a symptom of the fact that no one can say anything efficiently or effectively anymore. It's very sad. And again, I think this is a sign of the times, but that's the stylistic angle. The substantive angle about why it's degenerate is it's so focused on the community that has influenced you, whereas that community is not applying to the University of Miami. So it gives away the game that the University of Miami really, really doesn't care about you as an individual. What the University of Miami cares about is what can we say this person brings as illustrated by how we're going to stereotype this person as to what community they're coming from, and therefore we can check a box about what this person brings to our community. And maybe we can even get around the affirmative action ruling by them talking about being in some sort of special interest organization that is ethnicity or race-based or God knows what. So it's just, I feel dirty reading the prompt. And I think, again, it's so much longer and so much more sort of filthy than it was even previously. But look, like, I don't make the rules, I just play the game. So how can you actually respond to this filthy prompt? I would say that you need, of course, to not ignore elements of the prompt you simply don't like. You are unfortunately going to have to at least tip your hat to the fact that some community has influenced you, and that needs to be stated right at the top, right in the intro/thesis that you write, and that should be 50 words or fewer. Make it very clear what community you are anchoring your essay around in your intro/thesis, and then in the first few sentences of the body is where you're going to start turning this ship around toward you and away from the community, where you're going to share more about what your specific role was within that community and what you gleaned from it and how your value system has grown or evolved as a result of your intersection with this community. It's extremely important. It's extremely important that you make the case for differentiating values that you have acquired as a result of being a part of this community. And what I mean by that is you shouldn't just talk about, oh, I've learned the value of giving back. I mean, a lot of different clubs, organizations, communities could teach you how to be a nice person. Try to find values or a value that you have developed that's relatively unique as a result of being a part of whatever community you're going to anchor your essay around, because ultimately you're actually not anchoring the essay around that community, even though I guess Miami sort of wants you to because that's how superficial they are. What they're really also interested in, of course, is what you uniquely will bring to the community. And if you can share a unique value system or perspective that you've only developed as a result of being a part of that community, you're going to knock it out of the park, even though, again, this is a degenerate essay prompt. And look, we got to deal with the deck of cards we've been dealt. So try your very best by the middle of the body to the end of the 250 word journey to do your very best. Please try your very best to show yourself in action at the University of Miami, on the campus in Coral Gables, engaging proactively in ways that are believable, that you only would be engaging in as a result of the unique way in which this community has influenced you and caused you to blossom into your value system that, again, should be relatively differentiated and unique. If you're just going to say that you have a value system that the vast majority of other kids applying to the University of Miami will also want to say they have, then you're going to fade into the background like vanilla. I want you to be mint chocolate chip. I want you to be, honey graham, something a little bit more flavorful here, or a little bit more unique, because that's the only way that University of Miami will be able to say, oh, we got diversity here. We got diversity here. We want to be as diverse as possible in any which way possible. Officially, they can't base it off of certain things anymore, but they can certainly base it off of a lot of other things. And so your value system is a unique thing that only you have, your unique value system. You can't obviously share too much about your value system in this essay because, oh my goodness, it's only 250 words. Now, again, that's not surprising. This is University of Miami. They don't want to read that much. What's insulting is that the University of Miami gave you a 117-word prompt in order to have you then turn around with 250 words. Like, if they're going to give you a 117-word prompt, they should give you like 600 words to work with here in your response. Again, I know typically University of Miami applicants, no applicants are going to want to respond in 650 words, but such a large, dense, complex prompt, you could do a pretty bang up job in responding to it if you had 600 words, because you could integrate in, the dynamism, or what now they're calling the vibrancy of the University of Miami. You could talk about myriad ways in which this community has influenced you. But instead, we are going to have to hyper-focus really quickly on what significance that community holds for you. And that significance, unfortunately, has to be extremely selfish. It has to be how it has formed you, how you have changed as a result of it, how you have grown, or your value system has been sharpened as a result of being a part of that community. And that's what's going to be the majority of the second half of, if not earlier, of your short 250-word response. And of course, you're going to have to then really explain and show specifically the ways in which that value system will make itself known on the University of Miami campus, which of course is not in Miami, it's in Coral Gables, but you get the point. How will you bring those experiences, values, and insights to enrich our campus community at the University of Miami? Be specific. Specificity is next to godliness, and that will lead you there to the University of Miami. Good luck. Before we go, I want to remind you that I've launched a new course, 17 Silly Mistakes That Even Ivy League Applicants Make, on the Common App. This course gives you the information you need to make sure that your application doesn't fall down on the job where so many applications sadly do. The undeniable fact of the matter is that many strong students who should be strong college applicants are making silly mistakes on the Common App. And guess what? This is even happening to students aiming for Ivy League admission. So if you are serious about earning admission to the Common App colleges on your list, make it a priority to enroll in my course, 17 Silly Mistakes That Even Ivy League Applicants Make, on the Common App. You'll be glad you did. And when you've finished your Common App and want to know if it's as strong as possible and whether or not in its current condition your chances of admission are impressive, inconclusive, or inadequate, you need my pre-read. Getting my pre-read now means having me review your entire application, just like an admissions officer or admissions committee will review it later, and receiving by email no later than the time you reserve a comprehensive report highlighting what's working and what's not on your full Common App and one Common App supplement. If you've yet to submit your Common App, my pre-read may motivate you to make adjustments to it before your deadline. If you've already submitted your Common App, my pre-read will prepare you for what I deem to be your likely admissions outcome at the institution in question. To purchase my pre-read now, go to mypreread.com. Again, that's mypreread.com. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one throughout the entire college admissions process, go to my website, which is collegemeister.com. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and most importantly, stay stress-free throughout the entire college admissions process.